Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, class is what I was here, and I forgot. Like I recorded, but I needed to addition things real quick, so I wasn't able to get the full recording. But other than that, we left off where Naruto. We left off where Naruto was asleep. Obviously, yeah, I ended off with my classic. But before he went to sleep, he went on a mission with Minato, Kakashi, and Rin to go find Obito. Naruto wanted to reunite them because he thought it would be a good idea. And everybody else, Minato, if you didn't watch the other episode, and you don't remember, he got brought back to life by Naruto, as well as Kakushina, and every other people who had died in the village. And so Naruto, the Uchiha massacre were massacring people, and Naruto saved them and all of that. But let's get straight into like the actual what if itself, and let's start it. So he woke up feeling great, and then his sleep is good, and then the ancient god said, "This is where my powers kick in." He said, "Powers?" He said, "Take your powers away from me. I think I'm strong as I am." And then he was like, "The ninja war is coming up, and I do not know what nothing will happen to you, Naruto. Nothing will happen to me. I can assure you that." And then the guy said, "I can see your future. You're gonna die." Naruto said, "I'm not gonna die, dude. I'm gonna live forever." And then the angel guy said, "Not forever, Naruto." "Yeah, I know, not forever, but a long time." He said, "Yes, it does take at least 100 years for you to die." By the way, her name has changed to Hasume because yesterday me and my brother discovered that her name would have been Inju Senju. So we changed it to Hasume. So, and yeah. So Naruto, take their powers away from me. I don't want them right now. I'm never gonna die, and I can assure you that. Look at my future now. And then he looked at Naruto's future and he said, "Okay, kid, but I still don't believe this." And Naruto said, "Believe it. I'm not gonna die." Then Naruto left. He left without anyone knowing, and said, "Should I go? I'm going on a mission." He thought in his head, "I'm going on a mission." And then somebody saw him leave. What's to say? It was Kakushina and Minato who were seeing him leave, and they were like, "Naruto, where are you going?" And then Naruto just said, "I was going on a mission." They said, "What mission?" "I was going to go somewhere." And they said, "Naruto, where are you going?" And then he said, "I'm going to go get some more info on the Earth Village." And I said, "Do you think that would be a good idea?" "Actually, I do, and it might be." Then they're like, "Has the Hokage sent you on one of the missions already?" He said, "I am the Hokage. I do what I want." He was like, "Dang it, all this responsibility. Now I gotta stay here and do paperwork." And then he went up there and to do paperwork, and it was like almost filled to the top. And Naruto did it in 3 seconds. Naruto's like, that was a lot. And then more paperwork came, and he was like, and then he did it in the second, and then more, 2 seconds, more, 4 seconds, more, 1 second, and then the last one took him 6 seconds. He was like, that's enough paperwork for the day. And then he went home, and Naruto was kind of bored, and he was like, what should I do? And then Naruto thought of an idea. Maybe he could go on a mission. But was it just him and his dad and nobody else? And hold up. They were about to go on a mission. The mission they were going on was just them two. And he told them, and he said, shouldn't you bring backup? And he said, backup? I don't need backup. I'm the strongest person in the world. And he said, that might be right. But do you know how to do this? And Naruto was like, and then Minato used the Rasengan. And Naruto said, I learned this when I was like 6. And then he pulled out the Rasengan. And then he pulled out the Rasengan. He was like, impressive. And then Naruto said, I know the Chidori, I know the Rasengan. And then he just did a whole bunch of things. And then he said, I even know how to put some of my nature in the Rasengan. And Minato's like, impressive. I'm still working on that. He's like, Dad, so can we go on this mission that I've been thinking about? And he was like, yeah, what is it? And then he said, well, I kind of want to go. And then he didn't want to say it. He said, I kind of want to find Orochimaru. He's like, who's Orochimaru? And then he thought, and he said, why? Has that creepy guy been messing with you? And he was like, no, but he has messed with Sasuke a little bit. And I can tell because he has a bite marker. You know the thing that he got during the exams, like that thing on his neck? He said, I can tell because he got that little mark on his neck. And he was like, oh, okay. And he was like, and I think I know how it can track him down. And then he went to Sasuke's house and said, Sasuke, snitch out that person who gave you that mark. And he said, you already know his name, and then plus, it won't do me any good. I'll probably die. He said, we're not going to let you die, Sasuke. Believe it. And then Naruto said, Minato, this might be a solo mission for me. Or you could go by yourself, but I don't want you to die again. And then he said, if I die, you can just revive me. He said, but you might become a reincarnation. And I don't want that to happen. And if I become a reincarnation, it's even worse, but I have a higher chance of winning. And he said, okay, Naruto, but if you come back attacking the village, I'll know what to do when I'll stop you. He said, ha, old man. I don't think you could do that. And then, what's her name? Sasuke ratted out, Orochimaru. And then he was like, okay, Dad, let's go. But if Orochimaru comes here, just tell me with this. And then he threw a headpiece at him. And he was like, do you always carry these around? And then he said, nope, I just make them. And he was like, that's pretty cool. And this one looks cool. And then he said, if anybody comes to try to attack you, activate your EMS. And he says, alright. But You could have been told us this when we were kids, you know. You said, hey, when I was a kid, I was kinda, weak and you are very strong. So if I told, I would either die or you would come to save me. And that's not good on my reputation, okay? I'm a Uchiha. And then Naruto said, well, we'll keep in touch as he pit his people and then ran. And then Minato was running like slower than him, but he was still keeping up with Naruto a little bit, but he was still slower. And then Naruto got there, and then 20 minutes later, Minato got there. Naruto said, that took you long enough. And he said, okay, you have God speed. You're like God speed. How do you expect me to be fast? He said, I don't know. You're supposed to be fast. You were literally caught the yellow flash. He said, you're like the green or yellow flash. You're like the mini yellow flash or the green flash because you always wear green. He said, I prefer yellow, but I wear green because it looks cool. And plus, the black jacket looks even cooler on me. And he said, come on, I think this is Orochimaru's place. And they jumped down and saw snakes and stuff. And then Orochimaru came out of, and then it wasn't Orochimaru. And Orochimaru said, I guess we have some visitors. And then Naruto's like, man, this guy is creepy. And then Minato said, yeah, that's right. And then Naruto said, well, Sasuke, you got any company? Sasuke said, no, but I'm expecting it. I can sense somebody, and I think they have a dart gun, but I'll dodge the moment they shoot. He said, okay, but just don't get tranquilized or we'll have to rush back there, and my dad will have to handle this. And I do not want that. And he said, Naruto, it's okay. And he said, it's not okay, Dad. This guy is seriously powerful. And then Naruto came up with a plan. Dad, you go to the left, and I'll go to the right. He won't expect it, but he will probably shoot snakes out. And we go underground, and then we pull both of his legs in at the same time and punch him in the stomach. Now, me, I will personally almost break his rib cage. You, on the other side, will fracture it a little bit. Probably will break it, but you can pack a punch. It was like, we should have brought Hashirama. It would have been it would be kind of fun. And then he was like, yeah, sure. And then he was like, okay, let's go. And then the plan went in action. Orochimaru shot out his arms and they turned into snakes. Then they dodged under and then went into the ground. They grabbed both of his foot and then punched him in his stomach. Naruto hit his rib cage, breaking it like nothing. And then Minato hit the other side of his rib cage, fracturing it. And then Orochimaru was like, how are you this strong? And then Naruto said, shut up. And then and all you hear is, Naruto broke his rib cage fully with his foot. And then Naruto pulled out his katana and made him headless. And then he made him armless. And then he made him legless. And it was just a torso. And then he said, I think this is over with. And then Sasuke said, they're coming. And then let's go to Sasuke's point of view. Somebody shot a dart at Sasuke. And he had at least 3 to 4 ninja. He was walking, and he said, it's at least 3 to 4 ninja. He said, use your EMS and counter them every time they attack you. They can sense you, and they know where you are right now. So expect somebody to be in front of you once it's dark. And if nothing happens in a second, then expect them to shoot a dart in there. But it won't probably work. And then a second later, somebody pushed the closet door down, shot a dart, and then Sasuke came out with his EMS, then kicked him, punched him, and then kicked him again, then knocking that guy out. And then Naruto and Minato said, "Get out of our way," because the guards were guarding them. And then he jumped, and then they jumped over the guards, and then ran all the way up there. And then they ran really fast, and Minato at this point was right beside Naruto. Like he was going God speed as well as Naruto. And then they stopped, then hurried up and zoomed to Sasuke's place. And Naruto jumped in his window while Minato just bust open the door. And bruh. And then the guards got on guard and said, "Oh God, it's the Yellow Flash and his son, Godspeed." I'ma just say they call him Godspeed. They call Naruto Godspeed, and then it was 4 of them, and he was like, "Oh, so it was 45? Ha! You have some skills, Sasuke." And Sasuke was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Well, I knocked out one of them, but the other are down there." So then he was like, "Yeah, we can handle these." And then he said, "Dad, stay back. I got this." Then he was like, "God mode, God speed, God strength," and then all you saw was Naruto get buffer and buffer. And then all you saw was Naruto, yeah, he got buffer and buffer. Then they were like, "What is that going to do?" And Naruto, he said, "Tornado kick." And he jumped up in the air and did like 1,000 spins. And it kept pushing him forward. And he kicked one of the guys and killing them. Like, it actually killed them. And that's just it. Well, that was unexpected. And then he kicked one in the face, punched one, and then uppercut one, and then kicked him in his nuts. And then broke his backbone. And then kicked him in the head, knocked him out. And he had a fracture in his arm. And then Sasuke said, "Nice work." He said, "And now we have dart guns." Ha, they just gave us free ammunition. And then he was like, "Yeah, but I don't think we'll need the dart guns." Like, why, Naruto? Said, "Yeah, what were you about to call me?" He said, "I was about to call you the Hokage, but you are, but it's weird calling somebody that you know that, you know?" And say, "Yeah, but I gotta go back, you know?" He said, "Yeah," and then he went to his they went to the house, and then they were kind of beat up. They had shards. Naruto had a shard of glass in his arm, but he really didn't feel it. And then he deactivated God mode and God speed, but he sure never did that because right when they opened the door, right when they unlocked the door, they just saw Hasume, and they saw Hasume and Kakusna standing there with their hair straight up with pans. And then they were like, "Yeah, what's up?" And then they were like, "Why have you been out so long?" And then Naruto was like, "Chill." And then they started running. And then Minato started running as well. And then Naruto and Minato went in the back entrance. And Minato snuck in his room, his room as well as Naruto. And then they had no idea. Then Minato and Naruto both looked up and saw Hasume and Kikuchita right in there. And then they got hit in the head with a pen. And then they both went unconscious for 2 seconds. I was like, and then just woke back up. And no, I'm not gonna end it off right here. And then when they woke up, he was like, "Hey, what did you do that for? I can still feel it, and that hurts." He was like, "Why? Where were you, Naruto?" Naruto was like, "Well, me and my dad were on a mission." And they're like, "Where? Where?" Because he looked pretty beat up. Yeah. Speaking that you just hit me in the head with a pot. Of course I am. Then she was like, "Naruto, you have a shard of glass in your arm." He said, "I do." And then she said, "Look at your arm." And then he looked at her. He looked at his arm. And it was a shard of glass right there. He said, "Oh, cool." And she said, "Cool? You literally have a shard of glass in your arm." And Naruto said, "What's wrong with the shard of glass in my arm? And plus, I don't even feel nothing." And then she took a deep, deep breath. And then she took a deep breath and was about to smack Naruto with the pan again. But Naruto was like, "Chill out." And Naruto dipped. And then Naruto, he went to the secret place / the ramen place. And the guy was like, "What brings you here, Naruto?" He said, "Nothing really. Just getting away from somebody for a while." And he's like, "Who's that person?" "Yep. I really don't want to say." And then he was like, "Whoa, Naruto, I thought you had to go do some work in the Hokage's office." He was like, "Yeah, I did all of that in a matter of about 18 seconds. And it was a lot of work, but it was kind of easy at the same time." And he was like, "How was it easy?" "Well, most of it was just about the war, and we're going to win the war, so it really doesn't matter." And he was like, "How are you so sure?" "I'm sure I'll win the war." Oh my god, milk and cookies good. But he was like, hold up. He was like, "Well, because I'm kind of blessed, and plus, I can't even think of somebody who can overcome my power." And then, the shop guy said, "Madara Lucia." He's like, "Isn't Madara Lucia dead?" "Nope, I know all the answers, and you thought you knew everything." And then he said, "How do you know that?" And he said, "No reason." He said, "Are you the ancient god?" He was like, "Maybe, maybe not." He said, "Just kidding." He said, "I just know that because I saw him once. He was spying on the village." He was like, "What?" And he was like, "Why didn't you tell nobody?" He was like, "I didn't tell nobody because it looked like he infiltrated from the Earth village." And oh, come on, man! I wanted them to think that they were winning. And he was like, "Good idea." And he's like, "Good idea." And then the guy looked up and saw Madara Uchiha and said, "He's right there, Madara Uchiha." And then Naruto looked, and there was nobody there. He said, "Where?" And then he said, "It made you look." And he was like, "Really? This is not time for child games." He said, "It's always time for some games." And And Naruto ordered some ramen. And then Naruto left, went back home. But nothing really happened while he was gone. Naruto was still getting interrogated. And Hasume was still a little bit ticked off. My fault, bro. Like, milk and cookies is the best combo. And I just wanted something. So, like, bro, I gotta eat the milk and cookies. Like, you can't even do me like that. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I got the milk and cookies. Like, oh, I got milk on my junk. Here we go. And, then he went home and he didn't think much of it. And he was like, yeah, I'll just go doing some training. And then, well, he said, I can do a workout. And then he saw Hashirama down there, and he was like, Hashirama, why are you always down here? He said, I want to get stronger than you, Naruto. He said, I don't think I'll have to. As Naruto started lifting weights and punching the metal wall. And Hashirama said, so Naruto, why do you want to be so strong? He said, well, as my dream was to be Hokage, and that came true. And I want to be one of the most powerful shinobi in the world. He said, you already are, Naruto. He said, I want to get stronger, and I will fight every single one of the top 10 shinobi in the world. He said, top 10 shinobi? Those are really hard to fight. And I said, have you fought them before? He said, yes, and actually, I'm the second best shinobi. So I think you can beat them. Anyways, he said, probably stronger than you. Yeah, Hashirama was like, I am offended. Nice. I was like, what do you mean? I'm not offending you. The only reason I'm saying that is because you've been in jail for I don't even know how long. He said, about 100 years. Wait, 100? How are you still alive? And he said, I got a lot of nutrients and I took care of my body. He said, so you're saying you're an old man, buff as ever, walking around like you're a hot shot, and you're this old? And he said, yep. Naruto was just shocked. And then Naruto was like, well, even if you are the second strongest, I'm the first strongest. And then who's the first strongest? He said, first one's Minato. He said, like, only that? He said, I can beat him anyway. He said, don't underestimate Minato. He's pretty strong, and he took my spot once. He can do it again. And he said, yeah, he probably can. And Naruto, well, anyways, I'm kind of asleep. And he went to sleep, all of that. And then, this is where the action came in. It was Shinobi. It was, Earth Shinobi raiding the Lee Village. And Naruto, all he heard was the door bust down. He was like, what is going on? And he was confused. And then he went downstairs and saw 3 Oshinobi in dress. He said, "Get out of here now, or I'll kill you." He said, "Oh, is that you, Naruto Uzumaki? The great 6th or 5th Hokage, I'm pretty sure." And he was like, "Yeah, and what do you want with me, scumbags?" And they said, "We're going to kill you." He said, "I don't think that'll be happening. Then you can try. You can try all you want." He said, "Well, we'll just kill your family. They won't die." He said, "Why is that?" "Well, yeah, I have special powers, so I can bring people back to life." And then Naruto activated his Rinnegan, and they were like, "What? You're a Uchiha." And he said, "Actually, I'm not a Uchiha, but you can look at me as the first Uchiha Hokage." Ah! And then he was like, "Oh God, we have to get out of here. He's not a joke." And he was like, "What do you mean he's a joke? He's not a joke. This guy is whack." And he said, "You shouldn't go." And then Naruto got a little grin on his face. And then they were like, "What is that grin on your face? Get that grin off your face." And then Naruto said, and then he started laughing. And then he was like, "Guys, I really don't think we should be fighting him." And then before they could say anything, one guy dropped to the floor. And then they were like, "This guy's the demon." And then they were like, "Ah!" He was like, "Get us out of here." And then the Hokage said, "No, stay in there and fight that guy." He said, "No, it has to be done." He was like, "No, get me out of here. I don't want to die." And then the Hokage said, "Stay there and fight him. You guys are stronger than him." He said, "I don't think we're stronger than him. Look how strong he is. He's strong just by himself. He needs no backup." And then one of the guys said, "This is my last words." And he said, "Bye, world." And then he said, I didn't want to be born in the Earth village. I'm gonna die." And then they started begging. He said, "Come on, man, I have a family." Then he said, "Yeah, I believe you, but stay here. Go get your family and stay here. If you don't, then they'll torture you because you're not fighting for them anymore. So you might as well just come here and you don't have to fight. We don't force people into that stuff." And then he said, "Thank you, but why would you do this after all that we did?" And then he said, "I'm a nice person overall, so there's nothing really wrong with this to me." He said, "Oh, thank you, Hokage." And he said, "No, you can just call me Naruto if you want." And he was like, "Thank you." And then that guy left, and the other guy as well, but the other guy was there, dead and there. And then, Minato and Hashirami and Kokushina and Hasume was just sitting there shocked, looking at Naruto. And then, and then, uh, and then, how, Minato said, "Why didn't you kill them? They raided our village." What, Naruto? He said, "People deserve second chances, and I give a lot of people those. So, yeah, I just gave them a second chance. So don't look at me like that. It's not like I'm a bad guy or anything." And plus, I'm going to go do my paperwork, and I'm going to get a house built for them. And a house was getting built, and then Naruto was doing paperwork. He did that junk in 0.1 second. And let's time skip 4 years. Yeah, we got time skip 4 years, but I'm gonna end it off right here. So y'all go see what the time skip is all about. So Right now, 22. 19, 20, 21. Yeah, 22. And I'm gonna end it off right here. Like, subscribe with noties, and peace.